ice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel. Rap this kid on dice and woes of life. Love the proud, look at her eyes. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motions reflect. Often mirrors appear, quick, bring fear to fear. Craving the rain, rekindle the flame. Close to she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark. And happy Monday to everybody. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend. Mine was pretty good. Went to the Oklahoma State basketball alumni reunion this weekend. Unfortunately, the Cowboys came up a little short against Kansas State in the game, but that being said, still had a great weekend seeing all the guys, and Coach B was great, and just listening to them and just seeing everybody. And it seems like every year the reunions get a little bigger, but we did miss quite a few guys that were there last year that did not make it this year. So that being said, let's get into it because, man, I tell you what, the Thunder, we're in a lot of trouble. The Thunder are in a lot of trouble right now. And it's simply because we have lost SGA for I don't know how many games. It's a strain to his abdomen, I think is what they called it. So I'm a little worried about that, about what that's going to really do to him, because we can't afford to lose him. That being said, the Thunder have lost 3 straight games. And remember, we talked about this when we talked about it went right after the All-Star break. We were 9th. And then, of course, we'll get into where we are now. But, my take on the last couple games, remember, I did the game Thursday night against the Jazz, which that's a game that we should have. It just frustrates me to no end that we lost that game. And then, of course, we lost Saturday night. And then, of course, Friday night. We lost Thursday night, Friday night, and last night. And, of course, we lost. I didn't really know how well we would do on back-to-back games. And we played okay, but we still could have come out with the win on that game, I believe. But last night, playing without SGA, again for 2 nights in a row, we were hard to watch. And the Kings ended up beating us 124 to 115. They improved to 35 and 25. And, of course, the Thunder were 28 and 29 going into the All-Star break. And since the All-Star break, we've lost 3 straight. And remember, we had, for me, to get to our 40 wins, we had to go 12 and 13 in our last 25 games. And I believed over the next 8, which I said were hugely important, that the Thunder had to go 5 and 3. Well, we're 0 and 3 right now. And then we'll go into what our schedule is coming up. So that being said, the Kings were 18 for 43 from 3, 52% from the field, 48 rebounds, 46 points in the paint, 20 turnovers. So we got them to turn the ball over. Us, however, 16 to 30 from 3. You can't really gripe about that when you notice that. I mean, that's not a bad stat. At all, excuse me, it was 16 for 40, my bad. Not 16 for 30, 16 for 40. 47% from the field, 37 rebounds, 44 pips, 14 turnovers. The Kings outscored our bench 42 to 35. And part of my frustration is with this team is that Josh has still not really stepped into his own as the scorer that we need him to be. And when you look at the team stats, this was from last night. Jay Will, he played 13 minutes, only 13 minutes. 1 for 3 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, with only 3 rebounds. But 13 minutes, why didn't he play? Jay Lemma, that was Jay Will. J-Dub, in 31 minutes had 15 points. He was 7 for 12, 1 for 2, with only 2 rebounds. Isaiah Joe got the start in SGA's absence. Stepped up big in 28 minutes, had 24 points, 6 for 11 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. I think he really did well for himself, probably earning himself a contract, possibly, especially since we just signed extend Lindy Waters to a 2-year, $3.8 million contract. The least we can do is pay him. Uh, Josh, 32 minutes, 18 points. That's the second game in a row. We both lost the last 2 games without SGA. He only had 18. We need him to score more. You know, he's your second best player, and you got your bench player coming in outscoring you by 6. Even though he only shot one more time, he did shoot threes. But Josh has got to shoot 20 times when SGA is not there. You look at Lou Dort, once again, Lou Dort trying to do something he's not capable of. 7 for 17. He took the most shots on the team. I mean, Josh Giddey has to step up. He has to be the number 2 guy. You can't allow Lou Dort to be the number 2 guy. You just can't. You're not going to win without that until we get a coach that puts him in his place and puts him where he needs to be. The Thunder are in trouble. And that is the way it is. But I guess we're just happy with, 8th, 9th, or 10th. Then fine, then we'll be in the dumps because SGA will be gone if we don't change and make some changes. He's not going to stay after his contract's up. There's just no way. Saric, 9 minutes, 2 points, 0 for 1, 0 for 1, 1 rebound. He had the one game where he came out good. This is only his 4th game, so I'm really not going to beat him up too bad yet, but he's got to make a difference. Robinson Earl, since he's got back, he at least hit a 3 tonight. He was 2 for 6, 1 for 4 in 19 minutes. And he has just not been the same player since he got back. And Lindy Waters, of course, played 17 minutes, 12 points, 4 for 6, 3 for 5. Like I said, if he's knocking down threes, I have no problem with being in the game because what you give up on the other side, he can't beat you off the dribble. And the shots that he tried to shoot, trying to beat somebody off the dribble, he's just a catch and shoot guy, is what he is. Hopefully from the corner only or the top of the key. Other than that, the wings, not very good. Or consistent. Not good. Consistent. Kendrick Williams, 20 minutes, he had 7 points. 3 for 8, 0 for 3. Trey Mann. I don't know why I want to call him Terrence. Terrence Mann played for the Clippers. I don't know why I get them confused. Trey Mann, 14 minutes, he had 0 points. 0 for 6, 0 for 2. Can't have that as your backup point guard. You can't. It's just. And then, of course, Aaron Wiggins, 24 minutes, 3 for 6, 1 for 3, 7 points. And part of it is, once again, because of the starting lineups, because of the lineups that he has in the game, he gets us down and then he changes and puts in lineups that can get us where we need to be. This is the difference between the Thunder and the Knicks. The Knicks have a coach, Thibodeau, that said, look, we were playing a bunch of players. That's not going to win. That's not going to get it. We're going to play less players. We're going to cut down. This is what we're going to go with. And we're going to win some games. Look at the Knicks. They're making a move. And we said this the other day. Myself and Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. He has got to say, okay, look, this is the 8 or 9 we're going with, period. But without SGA in there, I understand you got to play. But listen, here are the 8 or 9 we're going with, period. This is what we're doing. Give these guys a chance to get continuity, play together, instead of you playing all these bench players. If you're a two-way player, if you're a G League player, you're in G League. This is time that you've got to make a move. You can't afford to play non-rotational players. And you try to make them rotational players. It's not happening. Now, I'm happy that Lindy got a nice little extension. That's great. Remember, second year of Thunder have the option. But it's like, guys, what are y'all doing? I like him, but, dude, you need to be playing. Here's the roster once again. Let's pull it up so you guys will see what I'm talking about and who should be playing and who shouldn't. I mean, I'm like, if you're gonna win, if you're gonna play, here's what you got to play. SGA, he's hurt now, so you got Isaiah Joe and Trey Mann. You got Josh Giddey, J-Dub. That's 4. Lou Dort Wiggins, that's 6. And then Kendrick Williams is 7. And J-Dub is 8. Robinson Earl is 9. That's all you're playing. And then Sarge is 10. That's it. That's who you're playing. And then when you really start getting down to it, then you got to figure out, okay, Trey Man, Trey Man, okay, he's going to be gone. And then Robinson Earl isn't playing well. He's got to be gone. And Sarge isn't playing well. He's got to go. So that 7, that gives you SGA, Isaiah Joe, Josh, Jalen, J-Dub, that's 4. Lou Dort Wiggins is 6. Kendrick Williams is 7. Jalen Williams is 8. That's who you play. Those are 8. You play in that rotation. Because you can't afford to play everybody if you want to make the playoffs. If you want to give Oklahoma City something to be happy about, having to play a home playing game, you have got to play this amount of players. You cannot be playing a bunch of players. You have got to understand, if we're going to get in the playoffs, this is our deal. We only have 22 games left. And remember, these last 8 were extremely important. You had 6 straight games at home. You're 0 for 1 for now. You got the Kings again tomorrow. Then you have the Lakers on Wednesday. I mean, I don't know what to have. Then you got the Jazz coming in. So it's something that you have got to look at. You have got to, because here's our remaining schedule. And it's important that you understand, and they do clearly, I'm hoping. But you look at it. Utah, that was a win you should have had. Phoenix, that was an L. Sacramento, this first one, without SGA, but you still needed a win. So now you got Sacramento, the Lakers, twice against Utah, Golden State. Those are your next 5 games at home. Now, I will say the crowd was great last night considering the weather. I thought it was a great turnout. And I want to commend the Oklahoma City faithful for coming out and supporting the Thunder and doing what they're doing. I was really proud of what the crowd did last night. And we have to continue coming supporting our team. We have to continue that support of that if we can do that. That's important. Okay. Now, that being said, the playoffs here are the West standings as of now. Remember, the Thunder were 9th going into the All-Star break. Now look at us, we're 13th. Because everybody understands what you've got to do. And I don't understand what our team is doing. I don't understand what our coach is thinking. And I'm sure a lot of you all are wondering the same thing. Because, right now, you had a great chance. Just think if you went 2 out of 3. Then all of a sudden you're 30 and 30. And 30 and 30 gets you where? That gets you 9th place. 10th place. But instead you're down at 13th, which means we'd have to play the Lakers the first round in LA. Not good. Then you have to turn around and play the Nuggets, which we don't match up good. So it's important that when you look at this and look at what everybody's doing. Now, KD has not played yet. He's going to come back for the Suns. But the Nuggets, they're good where they are. The Grizzlies are struggling a little bit. The Kings, I hope Drew is right. I've liked the Kings since the beginning of the year, but he thinks they're going to fall off. I tell you what, with DeAndre Fox and Sabonis, that 1-2 punch they got is dead. And then with Malik Monk coming in and stepping in and knocking down shots, they're a hard team to beat. That's my opinion. But he thinks they're going to fall off, so we shall see. But Mike Brown has done a great job with that team and doing what they were doing. So I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but we shall see what happens with that. So, man, I tell you now, look, that being said, here are the NBA scores from this weekend, this yesterday. The Suns got beat by the Bucks 104-101. The Hawks beat the Nets. Trae Young hit a last-second game-winning buzzer beater for the Hawks to win 129-127. And, of course, they have just settled their deal with, oh, my God, my mind just went blank. Former Utah coach, used to be the coach of Missouri. Oh, my God, what is his name? Quinn Snyder. Anyway, they just finalized the deal with him, so we'll see how that's going to work. Wizards were beaten by the Bulls by 20, 102-82. The Lakers came back from 27 to beat the Mavs, and Drew was all pumped up about it. I was excited, but the bottom line is, what did you see? LeBron limping off the floor. Limping off the floor, which means that I doubt if he's going to play against us. And I think they have the Grizzlies as well. So I don't know if he's going to play against either one of those teams. I just don't see how he's going to be able to. So LeBron, if you guys were looking at buying tickets to see LeBron on Wednesday, don't do it. Warriors 109 over the Wolves. Man, a great win for the Warriors. You can see that they're trying to keep themselves up in a nice position to move up, and the Lakers think they're going to move up to 7. I don't see them going 15-6 in these last games without LeBron. I just don't see that happening. Even though the 27-point comeback last night was fantastic. Rockets and the Blazers. Oh, Dame Lillard last night dropping 71. And we'll talk about that in NBA news. But what a game he had last night. And then, of course, the Clippers got beat by the Nuggets in OT. So, NBA games today, huge games on the line. The Pistons and the Hornets. The Pistons are at the Hornets. That's in the East. We don't really care about that so much. Heat and the Sixers, East. We don't really care about that much. Celtics and the Knicks, we don't really care about that much, even though it's going to be a good game just to see where the Knicks are when it comes to where they're standing as far as their level of play right now. And then, of course, the Magic and the Pelicans. So a lot of Eastern Conference games on the slate for tonight. In NBA news, like I said, Damian Lillard dropped 71, becoming, I think the 8th player to score over 70 points. Congratulations to Dame. He is a beast. I've always been one of my favorite players. Milwaukee Bucks, co-owner Mark Lassery sells his portion of the team to Jimmy and Dee Haslam. Of course, they're the owners of the Browns, so hopefully they won't turn the Bucks into the Browns for $3.5 billion. I guess that's not that much to pay when you're considering you're trying to get a ring, and he desperately wants a ring because it's clearly not going to happen with the Browns because they are just a dumpster fire. So hopefully he doesn't do the same thing to the Bucks. And of course, that was the second most money paid for a majority ownership in a team since Matt Ishma's purchase of the Suns for $4 billion about a month ago. And he's already got in and made changes to that organization already. After he was there for an owner for a week, and they traded for KD. So he's already making changes in that. So hopefully Haslam won't turn the Bucks into the Browns. And if you're Browns fans, I'm sorry, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Not trying to be hard here, just breaking the news on what it actually is. Then the Thunder, of course, I said, signing Lindy Waters to a 2-year, $3.8 million contract with the team option in 23-24. So in other words, just 1 year. So we'll see what happens with that with the team option. So hopefully he got some signing bonus out of that. That's all I can say. But the Thunder do really like him a lot. They like him a lot. So, but anyway, in Big 12 action, which was, I know I'm frustrated. I'm sorry, guys. I'm frustrated after watching my Cowboys lose again. West Virginia took Kansas to the brink, and Drew Henthorne of Husker Drew Picks has been all over West Virginia, and he's been talking about them and how well they have played coming into this final stretch of the season. I mean, they're really a scary team, especially if you've got to go play them at home. But they ran Kansas all the way to the border, all the way to the back line, all the way to the end zone for Kansas coming up with a 76-74 victory over them. Baylor, on the other hand, man, they just took care of Texas and beat the crap out of them, which is about right. They're hard to beat. They're in Waco. Tough team to do. Kansas State, I mean, we should have had that game. I just don't understand. But without Avery Anderson, we're just tough without Avery. We really are. It's really tough without him. And watching that game, well, I say Kansas State's a nice team. They've got a good point guard. They've got some good shooters. They can penetrate, and they're hard to stop off the dribble. And that's the thing that my frustration with my Cowboys is that they're not. I mean, we can't stop anybody off the dribble. It seems like I don't know what the deal is with that. We can't take anybody off the dribble. It's really frustrating to me. I'm like, why can't you take people off the dribble? What's the deal? I don't understand that. I don't understand why we're getting taken off the dribble and we can't take anybody. I don't understand it. Hey, Drew, what's going on, bro?
What's happening, man?
Just talking about the Kansas State OSU game and my frustrations with it. It's just frustrating. We have nobody who can take people off the dribble. We cannot penetrate. It's frustrating.
They're missing a lot of guys.
I understand, but what I'm saying is we still can't take people off the dribble. It's hard to watch. Then, of course, OU, as you and I talked about, I don't know who the hell they are. I mean, they're Dr. Jekyll. I just don't know who they are.
And on the flip of that, who's Iowa State?
Right.
Iowa State started out like gangbusters, and they can't beat anybody right now.
Yeah, they're completely out of the top 25 now. They're completely gone. And then of course, TCU barely hung on to beat Texas Tech in Waco. In Lubbock.
Texas Tech's got a decent little squad. I mean, they play good defense. They're going to stay in the game any game they play in.
Yep.
Their defense travels.
Yep. And then in Big 12 standings now, when you look at it going into this week, KU, of course, is sitting at top at 12-4. And remember at the beginning, we were like, boy, KU's struggling, and here they go. Bill Self doing what Bill Self does.
That's a Bill Self coach team that gets better and better as the year goes on.
Yeah, this is what
he starts to figure out his rotation and who's gonna play when it comes March, and they start turning it up.
Yeah, just unlike the Thunder coach who can't figure out rotations. Anyway, Texas sitting there at second at 11-5, and that's why it's going to be a huge game tonight between them and Baylor. What a game that's going to be.
I just don't think it's going to be much of a game, man. I could be wrong, but I just don't think OSU matches up very well with Baylor.
Yeah,
I just don't. The guard play in the backcourt, Baylor's got three of the best guards in the Big 12, and they need a win. They need a win.
And they've been on the run too, but I just don't see what we can do tonight. I just don't.
Well, OSU playing for their lives right now. I mean, I think they're in the NIT right now. I mean, Joe Lenardi may have them as the last four in, or I don't see that. They're 16-14 and under 500 in the conference. I don't see them getting in with it. As it's set right now, I don't think they'd be in the tournament.
Yeah, we're 16-13 and 7-9 in the 16
conference. 16-13. Yeah, 16-13. But I just don't think under 500 record and sitting. And let's say they split these last two games. That puts them at 17-14 going into the Big 12 tournament. And they win one, lose one. Does 18-15 get you into the dance?
No, it doesn't.
Boy,
even though we do have the toughest conference in the league, but no.
They do.
We know, but it's
kind of fallen off a little bit last couple weeks.
Well, that's true. Well, it's because you're beating up on each other, though. And you called that. You said after the thing what was going to happen, and that's exactly what's happening. They're just beating the crap out of each other. But that being said, this week you've got West Virginia and Iowa State. They're both fighting. And then tomorrow you've got Texas Tech at KU, but Wednesday, Texas at TCU is a huge game.
Yep.
On Wednesday.
Huge for TCU. Big game for TCU.
Yep.
And it makes and if Texas can win that game, that would put
pressure on the
game Saturday in Austin for all the marbles.
Yep.
For Texas to get a share of the Big 12 basketball championship.
Yep. Because Saturday, that's the big game because you really don't have anything else. I mean, Iowa State and Baylor, that could have been something. Kansas State's got to go to West Virginia on Saturday, too. That's not going to be a cakewalk for them. Because, like you said, West Virginia, you call that. Dude, they've just been on a fire. I mean, they've been on fire lately. This however long it's been. For the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, West Virginia has been on fire. Yeah. You call that. You call them talking about
and they gave KU all they wanted on Saturday.
Yep. And then, of course, I talked about the Lakers win, but the only thing I can think of is LeBron walking off with his foot hurt.
Yep, and he limped out of the gym. I bet he plays Tuesday and doesn't play Wednesday.
Well, tomorrow I don't know if he can play. I don't know if he can recover in 2 days against Memphis.
Well, if he doesn't play tomorrow, he for sure won't play Wednesday.
Yeah. But he's out there. But the Lakers coming down from 27, great win, AD. But
2,000, getting going and checking.
I look at I look at Dallas. They just can't stop anybody. They have no big. They have nothing inside. They've got to revamp.
Well, and then Luka resorts to playing street ball when they get up big, and he shoots a lot of bad shots.
Yeah, he does.
Kyrie's not the greatest getting you into your offense point guard there is. He shoots a lot of bad shots.
Well, Kyrie is leading the league in scoring in the fourth quarter. But that being said, the problem with them is that, to me, when I look at Dallas, they don't play defense. They don't have an inside presence whatsoever. And Luka has got to stop, excuse my language, bitching to the referees. Quit crying. Yeah. Oh, my God. Does he know that's only going to make it worse on him? They don't want to call calls. Quit crying, man. How many times has he faked it, Drew? Oh, I got hit in the head. Replay. Didn't get touched.
Watching Luka and LeBron yesterday makes it tough to watch. All right. Makes it tough to watch basketball when both of them cry on every call.
Oh, my God. Just cry. It's like, get down the court, bro, and play a little bit. It's wearing me the hell out, both of them. Very, 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 very frustrating. But anyway, it was good seeing that. I tell you what, how about when you look at the West in the standings, Drew, which I had pulled up a little earlier, and I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm just going, the Thunder pretty much are done without SJ. If he's really hurt, if he misses another game, the Thunder are done.
Well, I saw that he was out last night, but what?
He has a strained ab. He hurt it in the Utah game. Did not play against Phoenix. Did not play last night. Probably not. Maybe not play tonight or tomorrow night. But the Thunder going into the All-Star break, we're sitting at 9th, and now we're at 13th.
Yep.
Slowly fading.
That beer's, I can slowly start tasting that beer from the Commander.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nice.
You got a half-game lead right now, 13.5 to 14 with the Lakers. Nice little lead right there. I don't know how long it's going to last, but you do have one, and so that's all that matters, right? You are in the lead.
That makes Wednesday night huge.
Yep, it does. But you know what? The Thunder got to win tonight. But I told you, I've liked the Kings from the beginning. You told me the Kings were going to fade. Man, I tell you, Drew, I just with Sabonis and DeAndre and with Malik Monk, why did Malik Monk play like this for the Lakers?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably because he didn't get the ball in good spots, standing around watching LeBron.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Thank you. Appreciate you.
He looks like a totally different player now.
Well, I liked him in college. I always thought in college he was a pure scorer in college. I remember he hit Carolina one time for 55, and there wasn't anything that they could do about it.
Yeah, when he was at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just frustrating to me, man. It's just really hard. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a quick break because we got some stuff we need to holler at and talk about. We want to thank our sponsors, Collaborative Logic, for everything they do for us to keep us up and running and on time. So appreciate the guys over there. If you have any needs for any computers or software written, or if you need some website designs, they are the people to talk to. And my guy Russell Williford over there. SRB, Mark Long, if you have an engineering, surveying, or planning, he is the dude to talk to. Oak Grove Trucking and our guy Jose Fierro.
Jose!
And, of course, Greg and Max Nafee taking care of me as always. And last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912.
The bank to make things happen.
Yes, they are. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC. Also a sponsor for us for our minority and women-owned business remote. So we appreciate them doing that for us. If you want to pre-qualify online, you can do that at www.ynbok.com. That's www.
Or go down there and see the Horn Man or Nathan Taylor. If you see Nathan, tell him to call me. I need to talk to him.
Yeah. or you can just go talk to him. You can just go talk.
Yeah, or you can just go talk to him.
Yeah, you can do that. Either way, doesn't really matter. Yeah, anything that works, it works. That's how I look at it. Now, for you, Drew, how was your weekend?
Man, it was up and down. There were a lot of bad beats this weekend. There were so many buzzer beaters and overtime games that tricked up the spread, and I mean, I went about 500. I ended up winning some money back yesterday on the Lakers, and turned around and gave it back on Rutgers, and then won it back again in the night games. But Denver really helped me out in the late game. So, but it was a crazy weekend of basketball. If you had a chance to sit down and watch basketball on Saturday, you were thoroughly entertained because there were some great games. There were some great buzzer beater shots. I mean, March Madness is here 2 days early.
Yep, it's coming. It's coming, and I can't wait to start previewing that. But speaking of that, you have Baylor in a pick'em that first.
I don't see the matchup. I think that's a bad line. I mean, I really need to dive into it a little more. I don't think Baylor's got anybody out. If they don't have anybody out, I just don't see OSU matching up with them in the backcourt. But Baylor's going to live on the free throw line.
Yep, they're going to because that's all they do. All we do is reach. Iowa State -5.
I'm playing the odds here. Iowa State's due. I'm gonna play them like a Jekyll and Hyde team, like I do OU. One game off, one game on. I don't look for them to lose back-to-back games at home. West Virginia coming off a tough road loss at Kansas, where they had every opportunity to win that game. That's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. They'd have to turn around and go to Ames in the cold. I like Iowa State tonight.
And then, of course, UNC and FSU, and you're taking the over.
Yeah, I like the over. I don't understand that spread. FSU just beat Miami, and coming home now, I mean, but not like they had to travel across country. And North Carolina, they haven't been 8 points better than anybody on the road this year. So 8 seems a lot. I look for that game to be high scoring because Florida State doesn't play much defense. But Carolina needs to just win. If they win again tonight, then it lets all the marbles be hanging out there for Duke Saturday. And, I mean, I think Carolina's in the tournament right now. But that was a big win against Virginia.
But they need to string some, and plus they've got to do well in the first round.
They got to win tonight. You can't lose to Florida State.
No.
They can't get beat by Florida State.
If they
lose to Duke the last game of the year, that's a forgivable loss. But they need to beat Florida State tonight. And then if they say they lose Saturday, then they need to win a couple games in the ACC tournament, which is doable. So
100%, because that's you've got to win now. Going into get some momentum going into the postseason tournament, going into
and they're dangerous.
March
and I'm
Madness.
telling you, nobody wants to see them in the tournament. Nobody wants to see them first or second round of the tournament if you're a high seed. I promise you.
Yeah,
with the guard play and the big man and the senior leadership and all that experience they got. I mean, you know as well as I do, you get hot at the right time. Something
all
clicks.
that matters.
You can turn 4 or 5 games in a row. Look at last year. They were a 9 seed. They went all the way to the title game. We're a minute away from winning a national championship.
You're just not going to let that go, are you?
No. But hey, I'm a glass half full guy. So, I'm going to ride them out. We'll see what happens. I think they win tonight. I don't think they win by 8. I think it's a close game. I think Florida State will play hard, coming with some momentum. But it just depends on what time Florida State stopped drinking after that buzzer beater against Miami.
Yeah,
so
true.
That may be why the spread's so high.
That reminds me. Have you watched any XFL?
I have. I watched some of the Dallas game last night, or the Arlington Rangers.
Yeah, I watched the Arlington Renegades. Watched it last night.
I think that'd be fun to go to one of them games. I like some of the rules they have. I like that. I like the instant replay rule where you can hear what they're talking about.
Yep, makes all of
that.
Yeah,
have
I saw that. Yes, I like that. But the NFL won't do. The NFL won't do that. You just don't get some BS explanation about. Oh well, he caught it. We're just moving on. No, we're going to get to hear what is said between New York City and the umpires and how they come about their decision. I think that would clear a lot of stuff up about people thinking that the NFL is rigged and it's scripted. Yeah, but they're not going to do that. They're not. The NFL is not going to do that. I don't think they're going to adopt some of their stuff. That's why they're doing it. But they're not going to. They're not going to allow that. They're not going to allow that.
No, they won't.
But I can tell you, the Renegades started out slow. They came back. They had that lead. Was it 14-11? And they were, they got that holding call where he ran for 20 whatever yards. And after that, it seemed like they never could gain any momentum after that. Well, just watching the game. So, but I'd love to go down and see.
I was flipping back and forth. I was listening to the Thunder game. I was watching the end of the Rutgers Northwestern game, and then we had all the storms roll in. So I had 2 little girls hiding in a closet. So I had to deal with that.
Yeah, because it was right over by you.
Oh, right over the top of us.
Yeah.
It hit the Xerox plant, come over the top of Council, which basically is a mile and a half for me.
Yep. I saw that. I was like, oh my God, dude, it's right there by your house.
Yeah, we rode it out. We ended up watching into that Denver Clippers game, and the curse of Russell Westbrook continues.
They're gonna regret that.
I think the Clippers are gonna rue the day that they brought him on. I'm gonna be watching the record from the time he steps on the floor with them.
What are they? 0-2, 3?
0-2 with them on their team right now.
Yep, and but anyway, I'm interested. I agree with you. I want to see some of these XFL games. I'm gonna start watching. This is only week 2, so we'll get to really get into it and really start to like and see what it's really like. Because I like a lot of the rules. I like the 2-point conversion of 10, but I still think you need to kick. I think you should be able to kick an extra point or go for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But I think you still need to be able to kick
that 3-point. I like the 3-point deal. That's got
for 10-yard line. Yeah. Can you imagine the Kansas City Chiefs from 10-yard line? Some stuff that they dial up for you.
I don't know. I think they're starting to figure out a way, because all these leagues have failed for whatever reason. Whether it be bad management, whether it be poor teams, poor play, just too gimmicky. But I think they're starting to figure out a shortened season, have some fun rules in there, get some good players. You got some good coaches now that are going to take it serious.
Former NFL
and I think
coaches.
I think it'll be all right as long as they don't outkick their coverage and stay in their lane. I think it's very important. Like they're doing this Sunday night games. That's awesome during basketball season because very few basketball games are on Sunday night.
Yep.
So
good games. Good games, you mean?
Yeah. Good game. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a few, but for the most part, most of it takes place on the weekends on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
For the most part. Yeah. So I think that they picked some good time slots. I think that that ESPN's coverage of it and their promotion of it has been good. So I root for it, man. I mean, anytime there's football on, hell, I'll watch it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the USFL is getting ready to start, so we'll see how that comes into play too.
But it doesn't start like right at the end of the XFL.
Yes, right at the end. Yeah. Yep. So they don't.
See, and they need to be working together if they have any sense of business sense.
Well, the NFL is not stupid.
If they want to succeed.
The NFL is not.
Right.
They're pretty sharp at what they do. So, but anyway, Drew, what we did is we're going to do the AFC West today. Remember we did the NFC East the other day. You have the Bills. Okay. You've got the Bills. Here's their home games. Clearly the Jets, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. That's their division. But they have the Broncos, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Buccaneers, and the Jags.
Boy, they may go 5-1 right there. Cowboys will give them a run. Jags will where's the Jags game?
Jags it's at home. Yeah, these are home. Those are home games.
Okay, so I'll take the Jags. I wouldn't. They're not going to beat the Jags. I mean, they'll beat the Jags in Buffalo. But Dallas will give them a run depending on when that date is. They could go 6-0 in their non-conference home games very easily.
Yep. Then you've got the away games. They have obviously the 3. Then they have at the Eagles, at the Bengals.
It's a loss.
At the Bengals.
Loss.
At the Commanders. At the Chiefs.
Win.
And at the Chargers.
Loss.
So
win. 2-3, 3-2. 2-3, 3-2. Flip a coin.
Yep. But it's just so funny how.
Let's say you got your non-con. You got 8-3, 8-2 on your non-conference. Is that right?
Well, non-conference is you picked them to beat the Raiders. You picked them to beat the Giants, the Buccaneers.
Yep.
That's 3. And either the Cowboys or Jaguars. So that's 4.
Come on, Jake. What's up, boys?
Hey, what's up, bro? So that's 4 right there. Then you've got at the Eagles, at the Bengals, at the Chiefs, and at the Chargers. Those are 4 tough games. If you go 2-2,
I think they go 2-2. 2-2, probably.
Yeah, 2-2. If they're doing good, they'll go 2-2 in that. So that gives you 6-3.
That's 6-3. That and then then they're staring down with their regular season conference games. I mean, they're 13-4.
Yep. 12-5. Yep. Something like that. Because the Patriots will be better, And the Dolphins
They ain't
should
going to beat the Bills, though.
No,
Dolphins,
no.
I think the Dolphins are going to take a step back.
Yep, and it depends on who the Jets get the quarterback. That's everything for
And
them.
the Jets are the Mets. The Jets
Jets
are the Mets.
The Jets, Jets, Mets. Then, of course,
hey, quick interjection here. Sorry about that. Speaking of the Mets and how piss poor they are in baseball, did you happen to catch the Braves and the Red Sox Saturday afternoon 6-6 tie? How they call that game?
Yeah.
Did you see
Was
that?
it with the time clock?
Batters time clock with the bases loaded.
Dude, I have
nobody out and 2 outs.
I have no problem with that. Get your ass in the batter's box.
Unbelievable.
No, Drew.
You cannot call it a game when a pitcher stands out there and picks his nose for an hour and a half.
He can't do that anymore. He can't do that anymore.
Man,
all that's over with.
They called that game 6-6 tie.
Drew, get your ass loaded. You know what they did? They did a deal, okay? They've knocked 28 minutes off of a baseball game simply by cutting out all the nonsense. Minutes. Yeah, but that's a lot for baseball.
Minutes.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well,
for you, you like baseball. You like baseball. I can do. Listen, baseball to me.
I can take a nap. I can take a nap about third inning, wake up in the 7th inning, and catch the last 3.
I understand, but I have zero problem with them making the pitchers throw the ball quicker, making the batters get into the batter's box. I have no issues with that.
I understand that. That's fine, but call it both ways.
They are,
because the Red Sox are notoriously known. The Red Sox are notoriously known for taking forever in the box.
What I'm saying is that stuff is over with. They what they're doing is they're starting to call that right now preseason.
That's not a regular season rule. That's just for spring training.
What they're doing is that's a rule. That's a regular season rule. They're calling it in spring training now to get them used to it. They're getting them used to it.
If I'd have had the Braves minus a half a point, I'd have lost my mind.
You just mad because of Braves. See, hey. Ben, you can't talk to him when it comes.
Why does that stuff always happen to Atlanta?
See?
Why does the infield rule never happen with Atlanta? Why do we always get jobs?
I don't know. I know.
Go ahead. I digress. Back to the AFC West.
Sorry. Ben, what do you think about the Bills, Ben?
I think they're going to have another good year. I think if I'm looking at their home games right now, if I'm not counting their division, I'm thinking they'll beat the Broncos, they'll beat the Raiders. I think they'll lose. They might lose to the Cowboys, but I think they'll beat the Giants. That's 3-1. I think they'll beat the Bucks, and I think they'll beat the Jags.
So you got them 5-1.
5-1.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on the back end there, the Eagles away games, you probably lose that one. So 5-2, and then I think I think they're going to win one of those games, either Eagles or Bengals. I don't think they'll lose both of those. So give me 6-2 on that, then 7-2 on the Commanders. Chiefs probably a loss if you give one of the wins up there. So 7-3, and then I'd probably give them 8-3.
8-3 on the road,
8-3 on all their games combined besides their division.
Okay, that's not bad. Then we got the Miami Dolphins, which Drew thinks they're going to do a step back. So Drew, they've got.
I do too.
These are their home games. Broncos
to win.
Drew?
Win. Sorry, Jose.
Raiders?
Win.
Cowboys?
Loss.
Giants?
Win.
Loss.
Titans?
Loss.
And
I'll probably
the
give them a loss there too.
And the Panthers?
Win.
Then they go to the Eagles.
Loss.
To the Ravens.
Loss.
Yeah, because they owe the Ravens. The Ravens owe them for this past year. The Commanders.
Win.
Chiefs.
Loss.
Chargers.
Loss.
Man, you
4-7.
Yep, you got that. Then of course in the AFC West, we've got the Chiefs schedule. They've got the Bills at home.
Win.
Bengals at home.
Win.
Dolphins at home.
Win.
Bears at home.
Win.
Lions at home.
Win.
Eagles at home.
Loss. Loss to the Eagles or the Bengals, one of the two. Depending on when that game is. If the Eagles game was when it's really cold and towards the later of the year, I'll take the Chiefs. It's at the first of the year when they're when they're still riding high with the Super Bowl shuffle, then I'll take the Eagles.
I'm gonna give them 4. I'm gonna give them 4-2.
4-2. Okay.
About right.
Yeah.
Then away games they have at the Jags.
Ooh, man, I'm gonna give them a loss. Jags
Yeah,
fully
I
upset.
think Jags.
I'm gonna give them a win there.
Patriots.
Win.
Yep.
Jets.
Win.
Packers.
Yep. 7.
Packers.
Ooh, depends. I'll give a loss just in case.
I'm gonna give them a win.
And then the Vikings.
Win.
Ooh, that's a tough one there.
Now, Jose, close. Jose, close your ears.
I'll give them. I'll give them a loss at the Vikings.
Yeah, it depends on when the schedule comes out, when we actually know who they play and what time. That's going to matter. You know what I mean?
A lot matters when you play those
play them,
games. Because if it's not in prime time, Kirk Cousins is a monster. But if the lights come on, Kirk Cousins folds like the Mets.
Well, that's going to be the lights are going to be on for the Chiefs. You already know the
I got them
champions.
8-3 besides their division.
Yep. Okay, then you've got the Broncos. Sorry, Jose. They go the home games. The home games. God dang, Drew, you go. God dang.
No, we're talking about this the Broncos schedule?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, loss. There's a loss. Whatever.
Packers, the first home Packers.
I'm gonna give them a loss.
Ben.
I think it'll be a close game, but I think they'll lose the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. I think it'll just be too much. But
okay, Vikings.
Whew, man.
I'll
give them a win. That's a home game?
Yep, these are home games.
Yeah.
I'll give them a win.
I'm going to give them a loss.
Okay, Patriots.
I think that's a win.
Win.
Jets.
Go ahead. Next.
Loss.
Win.
Okay, Browns.
Yes, they're not beating them. Oh, that's a tough game right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a loss against the Browns.
The Browns are going to be ready. And then, of course, the poor Commanders.
I got to win there as well. I'm at 3-3 on the home games.
Yep. And then away games.
I'm 2-4. 2-4.
Yep. Then away games. You've got Bears.
Win. Yep.
Lions.
Loss.
Bills.
Loss.
Dolphins.
Loss.
Win.
So I think that's a loss. Depends on if it's going to be nice, warm weather too. Yeah. Texans.
Win.
Y'all just don't have any confidence in the Texans, huh?
No.
Hey Ben, we were talking about the XFL. Did you get a chance to watch any of it?
No, I didn't watch any of it. Honestly, I watched a little bit of that fight Sunday, and then I know
that was a good fight.
Was that is that what we're calling it? Are we calling it a fight? Are we calling it a fight?
Tyson Fury plus 150 was a winner.
I hit it too.
All I know is I just laugh. I'm like, is this what boxing's coming to? YouTube and a model fighting each other, YouTuber and a model fighting each other. This is what boxing's come down to.
Hey, that's the best fight. You can't get nobody else wants to fight each other. Old boy's running from Bud Crawford so fast, I mistaked him for Carl Lewis.
Dude, I'll just tell people all day long. That's the thing I had my problem with Floyd Mayweather. Dude, in the olden days, if you wanted to fight, let's fight. We ain't running, let's fight.
Well, and I think you're on Mayweather a little hard right
now.
No, man.
Everybody
in his first 35 fights. His last 15 fights, yes, he did pick and choose his moments and stall.
I would too.
Because, Drew, it took him 5 years to fight Pacquiao.
50-0 is 50-0.
It took him 5 years to fight Pacquiao. Come on.
Well, but that had to do with both of them too. Pacquiao ducked him after he got beat by Donna.
Yep. To me, I was like, y'all are a bunch of punks. Y'all, back in the day.
Errol Spence is running as fast as he can for Bud Crawford.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, fight. Go fight. If somebody remember Thomas Hearns and Marvin Hagler, they just stood in the middle of the ring, just beat the hell out of each other. Sugar Ray and Hagler, Sugar Ray and Hearns, whomever, Ali, they just fought whomever. Frazier,
pitter patter, let's get at it.
Hey, if you want to run your mouth.
But Mayweather did fight the who's who for the first 35 fights. He beat everybody.
Yeah, he did.
And then he knew his time was the writing was on the wall. He wasn't going to beat some of these guys in their prime. He He
He
had
had
to
to
do the
wait.
shuffle.
Yep, and that's what he did. He
Yeah.
waited. That's the problem I have with you. You 50-0 with an asterisk. That's all I'm saying. That was my
Oh,
point.
boy.
I'm giving you an asterisk. All
All
I'm
right.
saying. I'm giving you an asterisk. But I watched a little bit of that fight, the highlights. I'm like, I'm not paying to watch Jake Paul.
You don't have to pay for a
I'm not
fight.
paying.
Just go on TikTok, dude. Just go to TikTok. It's streamed live everywhere.
Are you serious?
I walked to
Any fight.
I
I haven't paid for a pay-per-view fight in 2 years. All you do is go on live TikTok, and there's probably 50 live streams on there with any fight you ever want to watch. UFC, boxing. I mean, they're all on there.
Wow.
I went to Topanga. It was free.
Yeah. Now, what freakers those tabs you get, man? Dude, every time I have a tab at Topanga's, I'll have 3 beers and I'll have a $20, $25 tab.
I got to give High Stick Harry a prop. Nice pick on the Sabres on Sunday. I loaded on them. That was nice.
Yeah, I parked it on them too as well. Pretty good. And then
in their special jerseys.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. So now they're 6-1 in those jerseys, I believe, if not 7-1. So I'm going to keep every single time I know they're going to wear those things. I'm going to keep betting them.
Well, NHL scores yesterday. The Capitals took care of the Sabres took care of the Capitals 7-4. Ben.
Yep. That was a good game too as well. I mean, they crushed the Caps here. I think the Caps are continuing to fall. They traded a couple pieces to the Bruins the other day, but Ovi got a goal, which is nice. But yep, Sabres took care of business. Love that.
Yep. Then the Jackets lost to the Wild 3-2 in OT.
Yep. The Wings are kind of keeping their hopes alive here. They needed that win, but they're about 4 points out from playoffs. So if they can keep up going, they can make it in.
Then the Islanders took care of the JETS Jets.
Yep, this is a team that I mistakenly did not take this one for the under. Every single time that they play each other, I take the under, and it was going to be 5.5. And I looked at it and I didn't take it, and I knew I should have. But yeah, Islanders another shutout, so good for them. Jets are. I think they've lost 5 out of the last 6.
Oh man, and of course the Rangers, those pesky New York Rangers beat the Kings 5-2.
Oh yeah, strong night and net again for Igor. It's good for him. And then I think that would be about it. The Kings. There was actually a big penalty in this one. A guy was going to spit, and then a guy slid up on him, and he actually spit him in right on his his face shield.
Oh.
He got suspended. He got kicked out of the game for it. But the two guys met after the game, and he apologized. He's like, "I would never do that to you. I apologize. Did not mean to do that." But he got booted from the game. And they were rolling with only 5 defensemen, so it was a tough game for the Rangers. But they pulled it out.
Yeah, spitting is not good.
Out there, everybody spits all over the place. But I'm saying, it was like a big cluster. Like everybody kind of started moving in. The guy's turning his head, and this guy just comes right into his vision. You can tell he's already spitting in the video. It just hits him right in the mask. But they met after, shook hands, and Paul.
We're fighting. Penguins 7, Lightning 3.
Yeah, it was a good win for the Pens. The Bolts had their backup goalie in net. So, you kind of take it for what it is. They didn't really care about this game, to be honest. They're in the playoffs. But all the Pens' big boys, Malkin, Crosby, Letang, they all had 2 points each. So it was a good night for them. They're still trying to make the playoffs.
Predators 6 and those Yotes 2.
Yeah, Predators are tanking. Who really cares? It's already down at the bottom. Wasn't really much of a game.
And the Kraken got handled by the Leafs 5-1.
Yeah, it was point night for the Leafs, just a beat down. So that was just not a very entertaining game, but the Leafs took care of business.
Yeah, you know what, though? I was sitting there looking at the games tonight, Ben. Other than really my Stars, there's nothing I'm really interested in. The Canucks and the Stars, other than that, there's nothing. Your Bruins are playing, I guess.
But yeah, they're playing McJesus, so that'll be a good one. To start off here, the Wings need another win. They're playing on a back-to-back here. I might take them. They're plus money on the money line. I don't really like the Senators. They're trying to tank. There's a lot of teams they don't try to tank, but they definitely scratch guys. So that they are. But the guys that are coming in are trying to get their spot. So it's kind of a little bit different. But the Wings, if they get a win here tonight, that'd be good. But the Bruins Oilers game, the one after that one's going to be the game of the night. These are two very strong teams. They're actually the 2 top scoring teams in the league. So I was glancing at the over there, over 6.5. But then they also have the 2 best goal scorers in the world, Pasternak for the Bruins, and then McJesus for the Oilers.
Hey
So
Drew,
this
is he
one
trying
actually
to
is
is he
gonna be
trying to
this one's
drop a
gonna be
hint,
pretty
Drew?
good.
Hey Drew, is he trying to drop a hint on who to take? Is that what he was doing right there?
I think so.
That's what
I think that's what that sounds like.
So I mean, you
Take
got
the
two
over.
high scoring. Yeah, you got two high scoring players in the league. You got two high scoring teams in the league going at it. So it's over 6.5. I know it's just a little under. I think I saw it at -115 earlier. I might take that one, but that should be a good game tonight.
Yep, yeah. Well, I have to do that. We'll have to check out some of those, and then in NBA, Drew, there's all Eastern Conference. There's nothing I want to see. I don't care about the Pistons and the Hornets, the Heat and the Sixers, and Celtics and Knicks is the only one I'm even remotely interested in seeing.
Yeah, I agree. That Celtics game should be a decent game tonight. The Sixers. Did you get a chance to catch the Sixers and the Celtics this weekend?
Yes, I did.
That was a pretty good game. That might be an Eastern Conference preview final right there.
Yeah, final or definitely semifinal, one or the other. But I just tell you, I'm excited about it. I mean, it's that time of year, dude. I'm just ready for it. It comes down to everything.
I know this.
Now,
This
hey,
is my
hockey.
favorite time of year.
When is hockey? How many do they have games left to have in hockey, Ben?
It depends on the team, but most of the teams
On
are
average.
right around 60. Right around 60. So they got about 22 games left, about a quarter of the season right now. And the NHL trade deadline is actually Friday. So there's been a bunch of big names have been moved the last couple of days. So it's really starting to get interesting. Timo Meyer was moved from the San Jose Sharks over to the New Jersey Devils. Every team in that division has been stacking up on players. So that one's going to be interesting. The Rangers, as you know, they took a couple guys from the Blues. And then the Islanders took a guy from the Canucks. So, all these teams are stacking up pretty heavy. The Leafs just made a big trade for the Blues captain. Lightning just made a big trade with the Predators. All these teams are really starting to stack up. So, it's getting super interesting with only about 20 games left. They got a few days. And so it should get pretty good.
We're definitely, Drew, we're going to do that. We're going to do some of that where we're talking about the trades and the important ones, Ben, just the ones that we think can make a team better.
Yep.
Like Durant trade, that made them better. Kyrie. Because I didn't talk about every trade when I did the NBA. I only talked about the ones that were significant. So maybe we'll do that.
Speaking of trades and releasing, did you see the Commanders release Carson Wentz today?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Carson Wentz released by the Commanders. It just says Carson Wentz cut by the Commanders.
They weren't trying to pay him.
He's cut, and they saved $26 million.
Oh, yeah, I would have cut his ass, too.
Yeah, done the same
He's gone.
thing.
He's gone. The question is,
just in time for the USFL. Hello, Carson Wentz.
Oh, and isn't the combine? Is it this week or next week?
The combine starts Thursday.
Thursday. Okay,
Yeah,
so that also you're going to see a lot of free agency stuff start getting moved around in the NFL. They're going to see a couple of these guys, and they might say, hey, this defensive tackle area is strong this year. We're going to get rid of this $10 million contract and grab one of these guys.
Speaking of NFL, what do you guys think about the Bears trading their pick and keeping Fields?
Oh,
I mean, we talk about it, Matt. I mean, you got a guy that is a proven commodity. Do you trade him, or do you try to go and just basically start all over again with a new guy? I mean, I would have kept him. I don't think it was a horrible move. Obviously, that I'm sure that they were trying to reach into their bag of tricks to try to move up in the draft, which still may happen. They still may do that. You never know, but. I don't know. I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
Well, my deal is
I don't know for sure that the kid from Ohio State or Alabama is better than he is right now. And if you're the Bears, I mean, you've been bad for 5 years. You need a winning season, and I think your best bet to have a winning season is with that kid.
Yep.
Not to start all over again.
And plus, on top of that, hey, go get him a wide receiver. I mean, when you look at Josh Allen, what happened with Josh Allen?
They tried.
He got Diggs.
Who did they grab last year? Was it Robinson? Who did they
grab
last year?
They got
they tried.
What's his name? From
I know they spent
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, that's who they got. What is his name? I can look and see his face right now. Anyway, what I'm just saying is Josh Allen got Diggs. He went to another level. Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown. He went to another level. Give him DeAndre Hopkins and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Drew, speaking of that, you know what I heard? The Cowboys were thinking of taking Bijan.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think you can take him in the first round. I don't know.
He's pretty special, dude. He's pretty special, Drew. He's pretty good.
I'm curious what the Colts are going to do with their pick. If they're going to bounce back, what they're going to do with it, because that's in a weird position.
Well, the Colts, to me, you trade with Chicago because they want him. Trade up, give him a couple of your offensive linemen. You take Bryce Young, which is who they want. So you trade with Chicago. Chicago drops to number 8. Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Get a couple players and maybe get their first and their first and 10th, 12th pick, whatever, or first and second, whatever, something. Hey, go. You need picks. You need players. You need an offensive lineman. Your running back's pretty good. You have a decent wide receiver, but you need a number one. And what do you need? You need some more defense and some help. So
yeah, and then I think you just go sign a quarterback because that's what they're going to do. They're not going to want to. They don't want to rebuild right now.
Or what do you think about the tight end from what's his name, Drew? Do you take him as Chicago if you're 7th or 8th? Do you take the tight end?
Well, that help. He's gonna spread the field.
That's what they do. That's what.
I mean, I think he's kind of a hybrid too.
Yeah,
he gets loose on a linebacker. He can get up the field.
Reminds me of Kittle.
That's what those running quarterbacks need. They need a big tight end that they can just get the guy that'll catch the ball, make a play, get you 5 to 8 yards when you need them. And you can just do a nice little out route, nice little slant, something like that. You just need to give them the ball. They just need a big target. I think it would be good for them in Chicago.
He reminds me of Kittle. Is who he reminds me of. Big, strong, great hands, can run the routes.
Yeah.
You can't put you too big to put a safety on and too quick to put a linebacker on. Except nobody's killed. I have a question. How the hell is Travis Kelce wide open all the time? What the hell is that? How come somebody can't guard him? What is the deal?
He's slick. He's loose. He gets loose.
I mean,
I think that they don't have routes. I think sometimes. I think like him. I think like if he sees like that he knows the route and he knows he's going to roll out a certain way. I think he might just adjust his own route, because there's no possible way that the routes that they draw up that he's open like that all the time. It has to be a read and react kind of thing between the two of them. Whether if it's a look, or whether if it's a just like a signal between the two of them, or maybe they talk in the huddle. There's got to be something that goes on there, because even if you even look at his like routes, like if you highlight him behind him, he runs unconventional routes all the damn time. So I think it's got to be something.
Yeah, because it just seems like, I know that one play that he took off and the defense was there and he turned and the ball was there and he goes, man, how'd you know I was going to do it? And Mahomes is like, well, that's what I read. We read the exact same coverage and I knew you were going to turn here because that's what you had to do. And so I had the ball waiting on you. I'm like, man, these two are ridiculous. But still.
Listen to them mic'd up a few times is pretty good. It's actually pretty interesting.
How about his new show the new thing on Netflix called Quarterback, where they've got him mic'd up the whole year. Him, I think, and one or two other quarterbacks that they have mic'd up for this entire year. It's going to be on Netflix.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to look that up.
It's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be out this summer on Netflix.
Okay.
I was like, man, that's going to be pretty cool. They need to continue to do that, where you mic the guy up. He's talking about, I mean, they follow him for a whole year, the whole season. What do they do on and off the field? I like to get in and find out what some of those guys do. So
there was a play last year in the playoffs that they were mic'd up for, and they went up to each other and said, "Hey, if they do the same coverage on defense, I'm going to run just a wheel route over here, and you just hit me." And then they hit each other for 40 yards, and they went and kicked the field goal, won the game.
Stupid.
It was like
stupid.
Yeah,
stupid. Well, all right, guys, you got anything else, Drew? You want to talk about?
Oh man, it's just got a great week of basketball leading up to championship week, so should be fun. Like I said, just let's get it pulled together for championship week and move forward. HuskerDrewPicks.com.
Yes, that's it. And what about you, Benny?
Not much from me, man. I think I'm good for it. I'll be up here tomorrow chatting with you guys. So
yep, and
I'm gonna watch this Bruins game tonight. So other than that, I'm just gonna be chilling. So
let's get ready for the trades. Just get ready for the trades and keep that up and going too as well. Hey, that's my guy, Drew Henthorne of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Oh, he didn't say he must be gone. I thought he was gone, Ben. Damn. And then, of course, High Stick Harry, Ben Demon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Cheers, fellas.
Hey, cheers, you guys. Another great show. Everybody else.